turkey season, spring turkey season. And the weather has been pretty good. A lot of turkeys been talking. Now it's turned out cold, wet, rainy. I don't know what to expect this morning. Probably not much. I went ahead and set out a few decoys, but I have not heard the first bird talk. This is an old Quaker boy box call from the Grand Old Master. I have no earthly idea how many turkeys I've called in this thing. A bunch. I'm not even sure this thing's going to be able to wake them up this morning. Let's just see if we can wake something up. Another one chalked up. Of course, it gives a little bit different sound. Trusty old slate out. As you can tell, so far they're staying shut mouth. Don't surprise me any, so. Get me a cup of coffee. Sit down here and enjoy the moment. Still not heard the first bird. Whereas the past little while they've been gobbling really good, but this drastic change in the weather, cold and rainy, probably shut them down a little bit. And speaking of the fact that cold and rainy, that's probably pretty appropriate, considering this is my first time ever to turkey hunt with a Fowler or a musket, a Flintlock musket. So naturally, it'd be a good morning for it to be wet. But anyhow, as much turkey hunting as I've done a lot of turkey hunting, as much muzzleloader shooting and hunting as I've done, I've never killed a turkey with a Fowler, with a musket. Main reason for that, never owned one. I've never had a musket. I've never had a Fowler. And I just got this one finished. Got in, worked like crazy just trying to get it up to where I could hunt with it. And it's far from being finished, but it is in a shootable shape. You know, I got it together good enough to hunt with, but the final finish will be after the season. And I've killed turkeys with flintlocks, but it's been with a rifle. And I've killed turkeys with about everything, I reckon. Flintlock rifles, 22s, pistols, rifles, regular rifles, shotguns. Killed a lot of turkeys with a lot of different things. But never with a musket, with a Fowler birdshot. And this, the biggest thing about it is the difference. You know, with my regular couple of shotguns or so that I normally turkey hunt with, like just about everybody else, you know, I've got turkey chokes in them, you know, super tight turkey chokes, and shooting, you know, some pretty high-end turkey loads in them, you know, factory loads. I mean, so those things, they'll reach out there and touch a turkey. I mean, they shoot a heck of a tight pattern. And what little bit of pattern that I've done with this thing with a perfectly straight barrel, no choke, no nothing. That's a different mindset altogether. I mean, this thing's shooting super wide open patterns, and I'm accustomed to turkey hunting with a super tight pattern. So basically that boils down to you're going to have to put the close in it. I mean, I always like them less than 30 yards anyway. You know, I like turkey hunting is that getting in close and personal. And of course, the epitome of turkey hunting has been out there in the woods, leaning up against a tree or something, you know, which is what most of my turkey hunting has been, you know, just out in the woods and leaning up against a tree, shotgun up on your knee, just sitting there waiting, and then birds getting closer and closer and closer, and the closer they get, the more exciting they get, you know. But then, of course, I'm getting a bit older anyway, and probably a little softer, and probably ain't much probably to it, but the last about 3 years, I've spent as much time turkey hunting here in the Quigley as I have anything. And I'm telling you, I've enjoyed it. It's been quite successful too. The Quigley's comfortable. Like I said, it's cold and damp out there this morning. And I got one big windows open here, and I could and might here in a little while turn the heat on. Especially if the turkey don't start talking. But I don't even have this thing primed yet. The way the Quigley's situated here, most of the time a turkey's not going to sneak up on you if you're doing a decent job of watching. You got plenty of time to charge the pan. Aha. Speaking of turkey, an old gobbler has come out on, if I can talk to that old bird. He gobbled, he broke into a strut, but he's 250 yards away. He's breaking into a He came out of the woods up there on top of that hill. That's where he was, to the left. And he stopped and he crossed over and went into the woods to the right there. He acted like he was on a mission. Anyway, I'm loaded up. I've been a little lackadaisical there, I reckon. I mean, it didn't really matter, but I probably should have been a little more ready than what I was. Such is turkey hunting. Oh my, there's another turkey off to my left there. A hen. There's a lone hen. That gobbler was to the north of the Quigley. This hen is straight to the west. Oh, gobbler, you answer me if you're on top of the hill. He's still up there on the top. He's in the woods, but he's still high and close to 300 yards away. Gobbler he's talking. He's talking. There's an old gobbler. He's way up there on the hill. I don't know, he's determined to keep going to the east. There he goes. There he goes. Gobble. Said he's acting like he's been on a mission. Well, fiddle is trying to video could be a pain in the rump. He's steady moving away. Like I said, he acts like he's got somewhere to go. He kept a talking and a walking. I'll just be quiet a while. Sometimes silence is golden when hunting these things. He knows, the old gobbler knows. There's hens down here. He could see them, and he certainly heard them. The old bird, he heard me, and he saw these decoys down here, so he knows there's something down here. He probably won't forget it, even though I'd have no earthly idea where he's going, why he's in such a hurry. Of course, the hen over here, she's just out feeding in the field there. She's not interested in him. She's not going to him. He ain't going to her or the goblins that are turkey talking that I've been doing. And these decoys. And a live hen right over here, he could see. She could see him. They ain't paying attention to each other. That's one of the things that makes it fascinating, just trying to figure out what they're thinking, what they're doing, what their rhyme or reason is. Sometimes there don't seem to be any. Yeah, that gives you plenty to ponder on. But I tell you, this old Kibler Fowler here is looking pretty. I mean, it's nowhere near finished. I do have a little bit of A little bit of finish on it, but not much. I mean, it's just enough to protect it a little bit. But I think the cherry in it is quite beautiful myself. A little bit of bone black to accent it a little bit. It's got good grain in it. As the light moves on that grain, it's really pretty. Got a little bit of bone black fading her in there. That's really pretty. Nice gun. Nice gun. No turkeys doing anything right now. Not that I see, that I hear, or anything else. That cold finally getting to me. So I shut the window and turned on the heat. Turned into a wuss, I reckon. And it's all right. It's all right. Not to beat an old song to death, but the longer I hunt, the older I get, the less important actually bagging something or killing something matters. I just appreciate the privilege of being able to get out here and still do this. At 81 years old, I feel good. Still able to get around good. Do most anything I want. Might have to rest a little more often than I used to, but that's all right. It's all right. Life's good. God is good. Been good to me. Sure has. Little blessings like this little buddy heater down here go. Man, that feels good out here this morning. Sitting here with the heat going, sipping on a cup of coffee. Sitting in a nice, comfortable office chair. I'm really roughing it this moment. This is my idea of roughing it anymore. One of the videos last fall, a fellow told me I wasn't hunting at all. I was sitting in a shooting house. Shoot, I thought I was hunting. All that time I thought I was hunting. Then then I got to thinking about it. You know, there's only two ways to hunt, actually. One, you're on the move, looking for the game. Or you're stationary waiting on it to come to you. Right here, I'm stationary waiting on it to come to me. So even though I'm quite comfortable, got a heat going, sitting in a nice comfortable chair, drinking a cup of coffee, palavering, and still hunting because I'm sitting here waiting on something to come to me. So I need to check in with my brother. He's farm a few miles down the road here. See how his morning's going. If I'll just give him a buzz here and see how he's doing. I'll talk to my brother. He's having pretty much the same luck that I'm having. He said he was watching right then. He's watching a gobbler up on the hill from him, strutting around. And gobbling a little bit, and he's got some hens right in front of him, but right in front of him. The gobbler just staying up there. Guess he's waiting on the hens to come to him. Because actually, when you're turkey hunting, you're trying to call a gobbler to you, you're really trying to reverse nature. Nature pretty much has it that the old gobbler stays stationary and calls the hens to him. We're trying to turn things around and call him the gobbler to you. So makes it fascinating, and you stay at it, it works. Sometimes it's amazing how easy it is. You just come out and make a call or two, and here they come on dead run. Other times you just go fool with them and fool with them and fool with them. If you knew you was going to get them, I guess that'd take the fun out of it. Now, speaking of things that's fun that ain't fun, I just happened to look over and there's two monster trees down that I haven't seen down. Oh my, after that Hurricane Helene, I've spent forever trying to clean up hurricane damage, trees falling everywhere, rebuilding fences. Oh my gosh. I hope that those two trees are trees that I'm aware of but looking at them from a different angle. I certainly hope so. I don't want to have to build any more fence to keep these cattle in. Speaking of cattle, yeah, you get comments, and a lot of people, you get good comments and crazy comments, and then you get smart rears, smart Alex, and if you got a YouTube channel, you're gonna get all kinds of comments. That's just all there is to it. But some people from time to time have expressed, concern, let's put it that way, about the cattle. Well, this is cattle operations. Has been for God knows how many years. I've had it for 25 years, cattle operation. And I'm an avid hunter and an avid shooter. So is my brother, and I got a bunch of friends. I've got ranges set up out here. I mean, there's lots of shooting goes on here at the farm. And over the past quarter of a century, there's been tens of thousands of rounds shot out here, in and amongst the cattle. Now, it's a cattle operation. If you're going to do any shooting out here at all, you got to contend with cattle. But with tens of thousands of rounds being shot, not one cow's ever been touched with anything. One cow has never been touched. So, and at the price of cattle, I'm not going to endanger them. So you do shoot in and around the herd. I mean, that's just part of it, you know. But I will say that on camera, things can be distorted, you know. I mean, you could, and people look at what's on the screen and they think they're seeing it as it really exists, and I can kind of see where they think, well, boy, you shoot right around those cattle. Well, no, the angle of the camera and the setting of the lens, it can be deceiving, you know. Things aren't exactly like they appear to be. For instance, there's no way that the end of my index finger is as big as my head, but it certainly looks like it in there, you know. Oh, so don't be concerned. We're not going to shoot our cows. Especially at the cost of those rascals. Lord have mercy. No. Not going to shoot the cows. Another thing, when I put up that video of shooting this Fowler, I was shooting some heavy loads, you know, heavy loads for this guy. But that's amazing how people can get things in their head, and or trends will go. For instance, the load that I'm shooting at 110 grains and 100 grains, 110 grains with a round ball. Oh God, that's such a heavy load. Well, it depends on how you look at it, you know. If you go back and look historically, I mean, some of the actual loads, military loads in military manuals, you got a 75 caliber musket shooting 175, 180 grains powder. I mean, Lord of mercy. Yeah. And normal loads, I mean, the normal military loads were heavy loads. But what we call heavy loads, that was normal loads then. And of course, I was shooting bare ball, and but anyway, historically, with muskets in particular, there were some military muskets. There were some what most people today consider to be heavy loads, but they weren't considered heavy loads then. They were considered normal loads. But among muzzleloader shooters, modern muzzleloader shooters today, there seems to be a whole group that shoot light loads. I mean, everything, to see how light they can get. How light they can get those loads. And then you get the modern, this is traditional muzzleloaders, you know, Flintlockers and Caplockers and stuff. A lot of them, they think that a 100 grain load is just a horrendous load and everything, you know, but yet you go to the modern muzzleloaders, shooting inlines and stuff like that, the average hunter out there shooting whitetails is using a 150 grain load with a big old 250, 60, 70, 80, 300 grain bullet, for heaven's sake. Shooting whitetails. There's two groups out there. Most modern muzzleloaders are just shooting modern muzzleloaders. They're shooting really heavy loads. And it seems that there's a great deal of traditional muzzleloaders that shoot really light loads, but yet, oh goodness, whatever. It's kind of interesting to watch people's reactions, you know. But when I first got into muzzleloader shooting 60 years ago, for 50 caliber muzzleloaders, what few people you could contact then that was really into muzzleloader shooting and stuff like that. The average load for a 180 grain round ball, patched round ball, was 120 grains. 60 years ago, it was 120 grains. And for traditional muzzleloaders, you know, patched round ball. Now, you shoot 120 grain, people are aghast. Why not shoot 60 grains? Whatever. Anyway, it's just fun. It's fascinating. But my suggestion is shoot whatever shoots best in your gun, whatever that might be. But talking about Flintlock or Fowlers, smoothbore Fowlers like this. Mike Bellevue on YouTube. Mike Bellevue probably has done more experimenting than I know he has than I have, and I've done more than most people, but he's certainly done more than I have. But Mike Bellevue, whose YouTube channel is called Duelist, like, you know, shooting a duel, Duelist 1954. That's his YouTube channel. Go look up Mike and go back through his channel. Go all the way back through 10, 12 years. And look at a lot of the research and stuff that he's done. He's done a lot of testing, a lot of research and historical studies and everything else, more so than I have, and I've done my share of. But one of the main reasons for heavier loads in muskets or Fowlers is a bare ball. Now today, most people that are shooting any kind of musket, even though it's a smooth bore, are going to be shooting patched round balls. And that probably was not all that common back when, you know. Smoothbore muskets were in much more use than rifles ever thought about being, for the most part, for a long period of time. Muskets were the thing. And there's absolutely no historical record of shooting patched round ball. Some people probably did, but there's no historical record of it, no proof of it. But traditionally, but there is documentation for shooting just bare ball. But a lot of people's got the idea that a bare ball, an undersized bare ball, that just like in this one, when you just drop that ball and it pump, 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 right on down the barrel, you can hear it rattling its way down the barrel. Well, they think when you shoot it, it's rattling its way out the barrel. Well, one of the reasons for the heavier charges is, first of all, you've got gas that escapes around that ball. It escapes around that ball, so you're losing a little bit of gas in the first place, you know. But that gas surrounds that ball, and that ball is pretty much, the gas is escaping around that ball pretty much keeps that ball centered in that barrel, and it don't go rattling down. It's riding on a cushion of air, a cushion of gas all the way around it. And bare ball can be amazingly accurate. Amazingly accurate. And Mike's done extensive tests of shooting bare ball against patched round ball. And and even he thought, well, I'm going to see some real increases by shooting a patched round ball, and, you know, the accuracy is going to be better. Turned out not to be true. Not to be true at all. So anyway, go look up Mike Bellevue and go back, and he's got a lot of videos on shooting flintlocks, you know, muzzleloaders, muskets and stuff like that. But you got to go back a few years. and look at it. It's interesting. But anyway, when he's shooting flintlock Fowlers, or don't have to be flintlock, we're shooting a Fowler of smoothbore shotgun. Heavy powder charges can often outperform lighter charges. And of course, if you're using 3F or 2F or whatever, with using the 3F, you might get away with an 80 and 90 grain, something like that charge. Whereas with 2F, you might need 100, 110, whatever. But just look up Mike's videos, and you'll see that there comes a point when 2F in heavier charges far outperforms 3F, but in lighter charges, 3F will give you better performance generally than 2F. Not necessarily just 2 and 3F is for bigger or smaller calibers. It's just that 3F in most any caliber will give you better performance up to a certain point, and somewhere around between in the bigger caliber rifles and the smoothbores, up to around 80 or so grains, 3F will do pretty good. Generally outperform 2F. But past 80 or so grains, particularly in large, like in Fowlers and stuff like that, the 2F starts to surpass the 3F. And when you get on up into the heavier charges, the higher velocities, there's no comparison. But go look up Mike Bellevue, and he'll show you all the charts and explain it all more than I can. Anyway, there's a place for heavy charges, but it's funny how back in the 1700s and back and all through there, heavy normal charges are what a great deal of modern day traditional shooters, oh my gosh, and they're using charges half of that or less, And then you come along with the modern people that's used to shooting just modern guns, and they go to black powder, and of course they're using black powder substitutes and everything else, But anyway, they think, gosh, got to use that old-timey stuff. I got to really jack it up, and they use 150 grain. They use 150 grain charge to shoot a mouse with. But anyhow, interesting, and it's fun. It's funny. It's interesting to read the comments. Some are quite knowledgeable. Some probably are doing a little bit more research before they offer advice. Oh well. It's the name of the game, I reckon. The turkeys are not cooperating very much right now. To my surprise, there was a little bit of activity early on this nasty, rainy, cold day. Huh. 2 coyotes just crossed the field there. Darn it, and I couldn't get out my camera in time to get on it. There were 2 of them. Boy. Need one of them coming. I should have had a rifle out here with me. Dadgummit, I will next time. Hunting with this Fowler is a different ball game altogether. It has, of course, a straight barrel. No choke of any description. So naturally it throws a very open pattern. Something that I have not. Being an avid turkey hunter, and of course having really good, shotguns with really good chokes that throw, and shooting high-tech turkey loads. So you're shooting really tight patterns. And of course with this thing, you're certainly not doing that. Patterns are anything but tight. Wide open would be a mild way to put it. So that's kind of something you have to sort of get used to, or I did anyway. But I think this thing is beautiful. And the cherry, and it's only got one coat of oil on it. I mean, it's nowhere near finished. It's just got one coat of tongue oil on it. And of course a little bit of bone black. But anyway, it's different, shooting those real open patterns. It of course is drastically different to what I've been accustomed to, those real tight patterns. And of course I've spent a lot of time on the pattern boards, testing out loads and all that. And today, there's some awesome turkey loads out there, some tight shooting turkey loads. I mean, they really shoot tight. They really look good. They look good on paper. But you can carry that paper testing to extremes. Let me see what I mean. It don't take a whole lot for energy for a pellet to puncture a piece of paper, your target. And so, for instance, a friend of my brother's, he'd gone turkey shooting, turkey hunting, and he had really had him some real loads that he was real proud of, and he brought the targets and showed them to my brother, and like I said, they really look good, really dense patterns at pretty good distances. I don't remember exactly what the distances were or anything, but they're impressive targets, Look good. My brother said, well, yeah, boy, those really look good. So, but tell you what I want you to do. So, go out there at the same distance you shot those targets and put you up something like a beer bottle. Put you up a piece of glass, a beer bottle, some kind of bottle. And see if you can, what happens there. See if it'll break it or not. And of course that was something a lot of old timers used to do, they'd test their loads out, see if it'd break that bottle. And the thing about it is, if it won't break that glass bottle, it might not penetrate enough to break down that turkey, to put the head and neck. It might not penetrate the head and neck if it won't break that bottle. But if it'll break a bottle, then you can pretty much assure you're going to get that turkey. But if it won't break a bottle, you might not get that turkey. It might just be wound, in spite of the fact that you've got a nice looking pattern. It's just not enough power per pellet to do its job. So the guy goes out and he did what my brother asked him to do, and he come back and he was amazed. He said, not only would it not break the bottle, it wouldn't even knock it over at those extended ranges. So he did like Doug said, he kept putting his bottle up closer until he found out what's the furthest distance that it would break that bottle, and then come back 5 yards from there. And that's your really good, dependable range. Now, before people go crazy, oh, you shouldn't be out breaking glass, shouldn't be great. But look, I'm not talking about just randomly going out here and putting up and breaking glass and leave it lay. But for heaven's sake, use a little bit of common sense. Set you up a target where you can break the glass, break the bottle, but you can pick up your glass and dispose of it, for Pete's sake. I'm not talking about leaving it lay around, but shoot it. Any kind of bottle, break a Coke bottle, beer bottle, anything. And an average beer bottle is really a good test because it's not as strong as, say, like some of the Coke bottles and what have you, but it's enough. If your shot will break a beer bottle, you'll probably put your turkey down. But find out at what distance it quits breaking the bottle, and then come back inside of there 5 yards. And that will be your reliable distance. And I've got to try that on this Fowler. I know the distance probably not going to get a dense enough pattern beyond 30 yards. 25 yards probably going to be, looks to me like no more shooting than I've done, which has been precious little, but it looks like I'll have to agree with most people, about 30 yards is sort of your maximum, 25, 30 yards, and really you'd probably be better off inside 20 yards. But that really puts the fun in the hunt, don't it? Closer they are, the better. My God, I've shot turkeys at 5 yards, you know. Yeah, so anyway, I'm sure the power will be there, but 25 yards, I think I'm probably 25, 30 yards is going to be my maximum on this. But I'm going to close up shop here in the Quigley and call it a day. My brother's on his way out here with a friend of ours, Greg, who's he got him a bird this morning, and it's been a while since he has gotten a turkey, so he's thrilled. Brother Doug's they're on their way out here to the house. So. Now, Mr. Greg got him a baby bird here. He got him a good gobbler. Good gobbler. 69 yards.
That's what Doug stepped it off.
Now let me see your darn gun again. He's using that TSS.
My baby gun.
That TSS shot.
Stevens turkey. 20 gauge.
What is it?
Stevens.
Stevens.
Single shot 20 gauge.
Yeah. Did good. You did good, brother.
You don't need
Hey,
them
wait a
high
minute.
dollar
Wait a minute.
shotguns.
Wait a minute. Hold that gun up beside my gun.
Doug, where you at?
Doug's got mine over here.
My baby gun.
Oh, that's two extremes right there. Congratulations, Buster.
Thank you. Thank you. Been a long time coming.
Yeah, that's what Doug said. But you got him.
2017 was the last time I shot a turkey, and that was right before Mom died.
Greg's had
Mom
a
got
lot of
sick.
health problems. He finally got out to go hunting a little bit. Doug took him out to one of his favorite places and
Put it
got
on.
him on.